Good evening. It's that Friday feeling. Hope everyone's had a wonderful week and looking forward to a wonderful bank holiday weekend. I know I am looking forward to a nice, relaxing bank holiday weekend. And I'm sure my main man, my partner in crime, Mr. Sam Spurs for Life, is in looking forward to the weekend. Good evening, Sam. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Sid. How are we doing? Good?
Good. Yeah, it's just chilling out. Just had a little bit of interesting week. Something to look forward to on Thursday afternoon. When them balls went into the hat and the Champions League serenading us, listening to that music whilst them lot were sat at home thinking,
I know.
twiddling the thumbs. You know what I mean? And then Mr. Yaya Toure done his magic with them little fingers, and it sent the internet into orbit because they all thought it was fixed. But hey, every little thing, it makes you amuse how other teams start crying because we've got a decent draw. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. How's your week been? What are you looking forward to? You looking forward to the game this weekend?
Yeah, so it's a game that's going to be quite close to my heart because Nottingham Forest actually live in Nottingham. So yeah, for those who didn't know, so it's going to be interesting to see. They've got something like 18, 19 signings. It's going to be, like I said, for us, it's a game that we should win. It's going to be a tough game because, they don't concede a lot of goals to Nottingham Forest this season, but they don't score many either. So I can see a win for us, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, just before we go further, let me Juice Nuts. What are you talking about? What's a dilemma? Either watch Miss Marple or Sid Says. Jury is out or Sid is no show right now. What are you talking about?
What time did he send that? 7:32.
Yeah.
We was already on live, Juice.
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Come
Miss
on,
Marple,
man.
if you would have said Love Island, yeah, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But hey, me and Sam are here, man. Don't worry about it. We got you Friday evening, 7:30. No better place to be than with Sid and Sam on Paxton Road TV. We've got you covered. Right. So we're going to start off with, obviously, before we go any further, thank you for everyone who's joining us. Smash that like button, follow us and subscribe to our channel. That's right. As Sam's saying, please subscribe, please follow, and just hit that notification bell because we're here. We're always here. You won't be stuck in a dilemma on a Friday at 7:30 because I'll be there and my sidekick with me will be with me. So chill out. Chill out. It's not a dilemma, yeah? No matter what I do, all I think about is you. Forget Nelly and Kelly, yeah? This is Sid and Sam, so don't worry about it. Right. Matter, let's talk about the big matters, the massive things that happened on Thursday. The Champions League draw. How excited was you? I know Darius and Sean Hurl done a watch along live, and them boys thoroughly enjoyed it, anticipating who we was going to get with Yaya's magic hands, with the magic balls. Was you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I don't really believe we could have got much better in terms of a draw. We didn't get any so-called big guns. No AC Milans, no Real Madrids, no Barcelona's. All the rest of those big names, they're out. That's why people thought it was a bit fixed. Yaya Toure pulls out Tottenham Hotspur. And then it's like all crazy. And everybody's going all mad because, it's the thing. And then our group kept coming out and I was like, ooh, that's all right. Ooh, that's good. That's all right. But then again, obviously, it kind of then thinks to yourself that we should progress to the round of 16, which I hope the players don't think that. We might, as fans, be thinking, it's an easy group or an easier group that we could have. Then some of the groups that that PSG group's not a nice one.
No.
But yeah, I think all good, man. I think we just got to play the games. I'm looking forward to it.
100%. Do you know what? It's like they always say, innit? You've got to play the teams that are ahead of you. I know all these people are saying it's an easy group. It's we couldn't wish for anything better. Blah blah blah. However, look what happened last season when we had the Europa Conference League and everyone said we're going to walk over it. Blah blah blah. And what happened? We got humiliated by quite a lot of teams, and we've just got to take every game as it comes.
That was down to lack of motivation and mentality. We saw from some of those players they didn't really want to be playing that game. And then ones that did come on, I remember that game they brought some of the big guns on and they just went and popped in 4 goals or whatever it was. It just wasn't the competition that some of these players wanted to play in. I think Conte is now seen the mentality of some of them, hence the reason why a lot of these players are now no longer in the squad, and more, as of today, are on the way out. I don't want to celebrate, but somebody that Sean likes is...
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. So that's fine. Do you know what made me laugh watching this draw, right, is we was all talking about the presenters and Yaya Toure drawing the balls out, being the Tottenham Academy coach, and Reshmin Chaudhry, the presenter, the woman of multi-talents, is a massive Spurs fan. So when Spurs...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a hardcore Spurs fan. Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So when the balls were drawn, Tottenham, I expected them to go, yes. Yeah. But obviously, being the professionals that they are, they probably couldn't. And then when the draw came, I expected Reshmi to go around, running around, because we probably got the easiest draw that we could have got. But again, being the professional that she is, she done a stern job. But I think deep down, she was smiling because, you know what? Let's have a look. The actual, there we go. Group D, we have Eintracht Frankfurt, the conquerors of West Ham United and Barcelona last season in the Europa, Tottenham Hotspurs, Sporting Lisbon, and Marseille. So, like you said, Sam, and we've discussed this on the groups and that, we couldn't have asked for a better group. In fact, this is like a Europa League group, isn't it? We couldn't have got...
Yeah, this is... In fact, this is like, you took the words right out of my mouth. This is a Europa League group. However, we got to think, is Cristiano Ronaldo going to end up at Sporting anytime soon? The likelihood is he is. I don't know if it's a done deal, but people are talking like he's almost there. Marseille, decent team. You know, and Eintracht, didn't they win last season? They did.
They beat Rangers. Yeah, they beat Rangers.
So it's not like it's a walkover, but like I said, we've avoided big guns, and you really want to work your way into the competition. If you can get into that round of 16 by playing these 6 games in this leg, in this first phase, and then it's 2 legs. You know what I mean? It's anybody's over 2 legs. You know, no one's going to really want to play us. You know, these teams aren't going to think, oh yeah, it's Spurs, it's an easy touch. We've got Antonio Conte as a manager. We've got a system that if you don't know how to play it, is going to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems. And I just think we've got, you know, the desire to do well in this competition this year. I think a lot of these players really want to do well in this competition.
I think everybody, yeah, you're right. Last season, obviously, conference, so they went in, you know, and now we're actually in the proper Champions League. And you're right, they'll be wanting to go there, making them for themselves. It's just like you said, when I went a couple of seasons ago, it's just being in the stadium, and as soon as that music comes on, the hair on your arms and everything, mate. I don't have any hair on my head. I would have said hair on my head. You as well. You know, it just spikes up, and you just sense it, don't you? You just sense it. The only issue I've got, right, and Conte's said it as well, is match day 1, 6th and 7th of September. So I think that's between Fulham and Manchester City game. Then we've got 13th and 14th, 4th and 5th, 11th and 12th, and 25th and 26th of October. We've got 9 games in October, if you put in the Champions League and the Cup games as well, which is a hell of a lot of games in 1 month. Had that been Jurgen Klopp, had that been them lot down the road or whoever, they would have been whining like no man's business. 9 games in 1 calendar month is going to be very difficult. And I think Conte's already said it, that I'm not looking forward to that 9 games. Now, the question is, does he then start setting priorities now already in October as to where is going to be my alliance? Do I go Champions League? Do I concentrate on the Prem? Or is the Carling Cup game against Nottingham Forest? Well, then again, that's in November, so forget that one. But what's he going to do? How's he going to work this? Because...
So let's have a look. So we got, what games have we got? Let's have a look, because I'm going to try and see if I can put it up on here whilst you're talking, just to see all these games that we've got.
We've got Fulham, and then Champions League, Then we got Man City. And I know for a fact. Then we've got on the 1st of October, we've got Gooners. So that's probably just before match day 3. We've got
so
Arsenal.
Let me just read you this what I've got in terms of October's fixtures, but they haven't put so we've got so okay. 1st of October then Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then we've obviously got match day 3.
Yeah.
8th of October, Brighton away.
Yeah.
And you've got match day 4. Then we play home to Everton on the 15th. We play Wednesday away to Man United on the 19th. We play home to Newcastle on the 22nd. We play away to Bournemouth on the 29th of October. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 league games plus 2 Europas. And if you, 2 Europas, 2 Champions League, 2 Champions League. Take that out. 8 games then, definitely. We've definitely got 8 games.
Yeah, there you go. So this is where today, I think in the conference, in his press conference, he did say that, you know what, I'm going to have to start prioritizing now. And also, obviously, when we move on to the next section in about a couple of minutes, it will be about, obviously, the transfers coming in and going out as well, which is going to be a problem because we'll talk about that in a minute. But
October's not very nice. You look at them games. Arsenal, Brighton away, that's not easy. We've got Everton at home. It's not easy, but we should win that one. Man United away, they've got a bit of a resurgence. What are they going to be like in October?
Yeah.
You know, Newcastle, we've already seen how they're doing this season.
Exactly.
And then Bournemouth away, they might, start to have got something into the season. They might be down the bottom of the league, but they might certainly be pressing to get points. So, Sid,
I know.
Buckle up, man. Buckle up.
And even match day 1, match day 2, we've got Man City in between. So for match day 1, actually, we've got Fulham, then Man City. So it's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, I'm seriously looking forward to this Champions League fixtures. I'm also looking forward to now for the details of the match tickets available. I'm assuming Spurs will do what they normally do and for a season ticket holder, Sam. I don't know if you're aware, but they normally do a package where we can get the group stages as a whole bunch, and sometimes they normally work out a little bit cheaper. Rather than buying individual, they'll say, right, you can buy the 3 home games as a package. So watch this space. But I'm quite looking forward to it.
Oh, me too. Like I said, it's good this season. Got a season ticket, as you know, and I know that Champions League games don't come with that, but we get priority anyway, so we should
absolutely. And the other thing as well is other teams in them other groups. Like we said, we're blessed that we didn't get some of the other teams. I mean, Bayern, Barca, Juventus, PSG. You know what I mean? I think we was at least expecting one of them teams, but to avoid all of them, then you know what? It's good. But
it's good. Listen, I'd rather get us through to the round of 16, and then we have to play whoever you play in the round of 16.
That's right.
Is a big boy anyway. So that's when I'll be definitely going to them. I'm gonna excuse me. I'm gonna try to go to a few of these ones, but again, it probably doesn't excite a lot of people. But if let's say Cristiano does end up at Sporting, that'd be a game to go to. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I'll just welcome a few people that are in the comment section. We've got Sean, our very own Sean Hurl, Dinosaurs in the house, Juice Nuts is in the house, Kevin Murray's in the house. I'll read your comments out in a second, guys. David Clark's in the house. Thank you all for joining us. And if you're listening to us on Twitter, or if you're watching us on Twitter, if you're listening to us everywhere else, Facebook or whatever, thank you very much for joining us. Just smash that like button and click them notifications for plenty more content to come. Right. So, as you may or may not know or have not seen the TV, if you've been working really hard, Newcastle are going slowly but surely on spending the money. They've just signed Alexander Isak for £60-odd million. For me now, we discussed this, Sam, on a couple of shows last year, how Newcastle were going to progress, whether they're going to go and buy players straight away or move slowly into the markets. They've made I think 3 world-class signings now. I mean, in terms of, they went and got Guimaraes, Bruno. He's done really well for him. Then they went and bought Sven Botman. We've been crying out for a centre-back all summer, and we haven't. They went and got Botman. And now they've spent £60-odd million on Alexander Isak. So they're slowly getting there, stronger. Now, for us, the problem we've got is we've sort of done all our buying, and it seems to have gone a bit cold on the Western front in terms of buying players. I know we've sold, well, not, I'm going to talk about the loans and stuff like that. That's doing my head in, absolutely done my head in, right? I'm going to have a proper gripe at the end of it. However, a couple of transfers, we've not been linked to that many players. The same old, right? Couple of players that we have been linked to. If you read the scroll at the bottom, so for the likes of Paqueta, West Ham United look like they've got him. So, okay, it was on our list. Me and you, Sam, we discussed this the other day, and I gave you the options of Maddison, Paqueta, and Zaniolo, and all the stats pointed towards Paqueta. Maddison doesn't want to come to Spurs. Leicester don't want to sell him, and Conte's got a problem. Zaniolo now has broken his shoulder, so that's sort of not going to happen now. And if it does happen, then I won't be happy because he's just broke his shoulder this weekend, and they reckon it's quite serious. On top of that is ACL. So Paqueta would have been the best option out of the three. That's not happening. Malinowski wants to come, but again, there's a little bit what's going on there. I don't know. I don't know how you're feeling with this attacking midfielder problem, but it's doing my head in.
Okay, so I don't know if you've managed to watch that masterclass with Conte and what's his name? Oh God, I forget his name. Ex Man United player. He's a commentator now. Anyway, no, it's not Neville. It's not Neville. It's the German. He's German, but he played for England. Oh, I can't remember his name. Anyway, forget that.
Owen Hargreaves.
Owen Hargreaves. That's the one. Owen Hargreaves did a masterclass with Antonio Conte, and he was going through how he plays his formation, the 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, as he likes to call it. It doesn't strike me that an attacking midfielder is a priority for Antonio Conte. I don't think he believes in it in terms of for his system that he's got now, and I think he's looking to maybe bolster that with possibly another midfielder, but maybe not an attacking midfielder.
So let me put this one up for you then. What's your thoughts on this one?
Nah, man. Come on. No, not for me. He didn't do nothing at Chelsea. He's not coming. No. We won't want that player to go directly from Chelsea to us, having not really torn up anything at 25 million. We can do better than that.
But
I don't think he's a player we want.
No, but from what I'm hearing, what I'm reading, Hakim Ziyech, 29-year-old, plays for Chelsea, wants to leave Chelsea. They've told him he can leave. Two clubs, Ajax and Tottenham Hotspur, apparently have been in the mix. He prefers to move to Spurs over Ajax, right? Now, 29 years old, like I said, 5'10", attacking midfielder, stroke centre midfielder. This is the attacking midfielder player that they might be looking at. He can go in on right, go on the left, plays for Morocco. This is the disturbing bit. When he was at Ajax, guy was a phenomenal player. He was doing bits, right? And Ten Hag and all them lot with Frankie de Jong and all them lot. And he was a baller. Then he took the wrong move, in my opinion, and went to Chelsea, where he played 1 or 2 games. Then he was being used as substitute and then slowly progressing. Look at them stats. Last season, he played 27 minutes of Premiership football. 27. That is for real. 27 minutes. Yeah.
So it was the cup game that he played. Remember the cup game, and he kind of like a hybrid right side, and then he kind of came back into that right wing, like what Loftus-Cheek did against us in the league game. He did that in that cup game against us, and he was pretty decent because I think he scored as well, didn't he? I'm sure he had a.
I think he did.
I'm sure he had a good game. Put it in the comments if you know, but I'm sure Ziyech had a good game. But that was the only game I saw that he was effective. I see him score that worldie of a goal.
Yeah.
What else has he done?
This is what I'm saying.
What else has he done? He's not
I
done nothing.
I would have taken him from Ajax. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, the boat has sailed now. He probably only wants to come to Spurs because he doesn't want to go back to Ajax. He probably wants to stay in London. He's probably settled in London. If he's got kids, wife, or whatever, they're probably settled shopping in Harrods and going down Kensington High Street and whatever, Mayfair and whatever, right? For me, the ship sailed with him now. 25 million is
100%.
25 million is what they're looking at. So, and at the
Can
moment,
I just add a little something? If there was a player that I would take as a midfielder from Chelsea, now a lot of people might say he's not the finished article, he's not that, but Loftus-Cheek for me, he fits that criteria. I'd have him in a heartbeat because he's a bit rough around the edges, but you can see he's got some talent there. We all know he's got talent, and he looks like he can adapt tactically because he played that right-sided against us pretty damn well. Got into the box to try and score. His scoring record's not great. I guess his assist record's not great, but he's got an engine on him. I like his in terms of his physique. That's who I would take. Not this geezer. Nah, man. No.
Do you know, Sam, with this guy, right? If the rumors are true and if Conte is looking at him, because all the attacking players that we've been linked with, obviously, like I said, Maddison, Paqueta, Zaniolo, either going elsewhere, don't want to go, or injured. I don't know. I don't even know how far we progressed with all these deals. I know Zaniolo was like, it's there. It's coming home. It's coming. But it's not happening. And then now with this, what do you call it? Maranovsky, he wants to come. Apparently there's this little something that's niggling the deal. But he's already saying, yeah, I want to come. He's following Spurs and he's blah, 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 blah. So I don't know what's going on. If we can get, and I know you're not going to like this, but if we can get Ziyech for 20 million, right? If Conte can get him to produce the kind of levels he was doing at Ajax before Chelsea ruined him, like they always do with players, with Kane, Kulu, Son, Bentancur, Højbjerg, Richarlison, I think he can be the player that he was at Ajax. Honestly, I honestly believe this guy. I think he's made for Spurs, but he should have come to us initially, not gone to Chelsea. I know everyone goes to Chelsea for the money, blah, blah, blah. It's not worked out for him, but this could be a deal that's a little bit too late. But I think if we can get him for 20 million, I think Conte will get the best out of this guy.
Listen, this guy come to Chelsea with a big reputation coming from Ajax. 29 years of age now. What I look at is what he's done at Chelsea. Now, had he had a number of games where you could see the performances and you think, yeah, he's been unlucky because they've taken him out the side, they've rotated, I could understand that. But he hasn't really played that well. He's had a few good games. But for Chelsea, you've got to be consistent. I think he's been given enough opportunities. Maybe he hasn't necessarily played in a right-sided player that wants to kind of cut in. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Again, I wasn't quite sure what he was. Was he like an inside forward? Was he a player that drifted out wide? Was he kind of like a hybrid number 10? Because we don't really play with number 10s much. Is he a midfielder? No. As like I said, I see him play that right side kind of player, wing back stroke right-sided player. To me, it looks like if you were going to get someone like Ziyech, it's because he can play multiple positions. You're not buying him for X or you're not buying him for Y. You're buying him because he can play X, Y. He can play Z a bit, A, B, C. Not for me. Not for me. No.
It's you know what? It's out there. Like I said to you, there's players that we're linked with that are now moving away from two other clubs. We've sort of slowed down interest, and now his name's popped up. So this one will be an interesting one. Like I said, we've got 4 or 5 days left of the transfer window. I personally, I'm not ruling this move out. I see some potential in there. Whether it actually goes all the way and we sign him, I'm not too sure. But you know what? I'm not 100% sure on this one, but it could happen. Who knows? Another one that I'm potentially looking at now, Mark Guy from Crystal Palace. Now, this centre-back, he's right-footed, but he plays left-sided in the defence for Crystal Palace. 22 years old, 5'11". The best thing about it is English-born, so for the European competition, ideal. Last season, he made 42 appearances in all competitions, 3,762 minutes, 33 tackles, and he won 22. So he won 66% of his tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like this. He's got 82 pace, Defensive wise, 88. Physicality, 90. I quite like this defender. I think he's a decent player. Thoughts on this one?
22, not the finished article, got potential. Is that another Yaphet Tanganga? You know, Yaphet Tanganga came in, was doing bits when he played that game against Liverpool, was played well in certain games, but it's kind of tailed off. Now looking to be either sold or loaned out. This player, again, could he come from Crystal Palace, where he's likely to always be playing because Crystal Palace aren't at the level that we are, but then come to Spurs and not get regular football, not be in the pecking order, then starts to drift. He's not the biggest of centre-backs. 5'11" is tall in most people's eyes, but for a centre-back in the Premier League, you know, you're looking at 6 feet plus, really. It's a chance. It's a risk. Is it a risk worth taking? Yes, because it fills a quota. Yes, because you could probably get your money back on him and he's only 22. But is he going to get into our first team and make a difference this season? I don't think so.
Yeah. Jury's out on this one. I mean, this is just one that's been linked with. Moving on to the final one that I've got. And again, this one, I'm just suggesting. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'll let you read what you feel. But it's Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea, 23 years old, 6'2", defender, stroke midfielder, right-footed, again, England player, 30 appearances last year, 2,249 minutes, 38 tackles, 21 won. Price tag is 18 million. He wants to leave Chelsea. Chelsea are not, I think, done the dirty on him because he played quite a lot of games last season. He's done quite well for them as well. And then they went and bought Koulibaly, blah, blah, blah. So,
well, Chalobah, I like looking when I've seen the games he played. 23, a little bit more experienced, but only by a year. Certainly from a physical point of view, yes. Has he been playing at the top level? Yes, because it's obviously at Chelsea. So he played in Champions League games, etc., etc. We've seen that. I can't understand if he's that good then, why Chelsea didn't get him signed up and why they're selling him for 18 million. Is it because he hasn't signed another contract and he's coming to the end of a contract? That could be it. That would be something that should be looked at. Now, do we know how long he's got left on his contract?
I'm just going to, if you carry on, I'm just going to tell you in 1 second.
If it's a year or less, I would do everything to get this player in because I think he feels a lot of things for us, for England as well, has got that potential. And the difference between him and Guy is because he has played at the highest level. He has played consistently. You can see from his numbers last year, 30 appearances in 2021-22 season isn't bad for a 23-year-old in a Chelsea squad. Don't forget, it's a Chelsea squad who had Rudiger there, who had Christensen there, who had Aspilicueta, all these players. Thiago was obviously there as well last season. It's not an easy back 4-3, whatever you want to call it, to break into. If he's available for that price, get him.
4 years left on his contract. He's
that don't make sense.
2026.
That don't make
I
sense.
think the reason is he's unhappy. The fact that he played so well last season, and they've gone and bought Koulibaly, and they're looking at other defenders, and he's probably thinking, you know what, mate, I'm not going to get anything here. I'm not going to get any game time. I'm going to be a big player. So from what I believe, he's asked for a move. So
listen,
this could be an interesting one.
Let me say quickly, if he's up there for 80 million, I'd even do this as a quick buy and resell. That's what I'd do. This would be a resell job. You could buy this guy if it's 18 million we're talking about, and in a year's time sell him for double that. They can't be doing that deal at 8. Not with 4 years left on this contract. That makes no sense. No.
Well, his value is 18 million. Whether I mean, at the end of the day, if he goes knocking and saying, listen, if he does what Fofana's done and say, I don't want to play anymore, I've had enough. You lot have done me over. You've promised me this. Then you've gone and bought him, and now you're looking at more defenders. I ain't going to get game time. I'm sorry, but I need to progress. Let me go. Walk out that door. I'm not going to turn around because I'm not wanted anymore. Yeah? You never know.
Chelsea hold the keys. He's got 4 years left. It's not like Chelsea need the money. So if they decide, right, we don't want you to sign for Spurs, they don't do the deal. Yeah. And then they can say, well, it's not a problem. You just sit in the reserves or the youths and play for the next 4 years. He can't force his way out the club. Not with that contract. Yeah. Not with that contract.
I think, if anything, if a decent bid goes in, which I don't think it's 18 million, even if 30 million, 40 million, then maybe they sell. Otherwise, it's going to be a loan for him. It's going to
100%.
be a loan.
They're
So
not
talking about loans, Lo Celso's gone on loan and Dumble has gone on loan. It now looks like Harry Winks is close to completing a season-long loan deal to Sampdoria. From what I believe, everything is done and dusted, and that could be a matter of hours away. In fact, it might have already been done and dusted. Me personally, being a local lad playing for Spurs, his boyhood club, from the age of 8 or 9 and working his way up, getting to the first team, I'm not going to slag him off. I think he's done well when he's come on. He's played well. It's just an unfortunate events of circumstances that have now evolved with new managers, blah, 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 and him falling down the pecking order. I still think he's a good player, and I wish him all the best. If he goes to Italy, I wish him all the best. However, it's only a loan for one season. So, end of this season, they're all coming back. The three amigos will be coming back to Spurs. Thoughts on Harry Winks leaving?
I'm the same as you. I can't, yeah. It's a bit of a bit tongue in cheek in terms of celebrating. It's not celebration as such. We've all seen Harry Winks. Harry Winks has been at the club a long time. He's thanks for the memories. He's had some good games. He's had some good performances. Has he been consistent enough? No. Can he play in a Conte system in a two-man midfield? I think we've seen that many times that it doesn't seem to work well with him. He looks like a player that needs to have a bit more time to receive the ball and then kind of use it. When he's under pressure, I don't think he performs well. And in a midfield where we've only got two, and we've seen already this season, people are playing 4s and 5s against our two, he's not cut out for it. Can he have a future with Spurs? Oh, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Right, so let's have a quick look through the comments. Sean Hurl, basically simple, sweet and pure. Like, comment, subscribe. And also he's saying, you gotta hit my bell. Hit the bell. Yeah, Sean is in our boat here. Good luck to Harry Winks, been at Tottenham man and boy in his new adventure in Serie A. Played on through the pain at times and at the heart of some great UCL nights. 100%. Dino so saying, I didn't see a notification, gentlemen. Interesting. Should have been. Jews Nuts, well said. Good luck, Mr. Winks. Thanks for what you did for us over the years. Yeah, that's right. Kevin Murray saying, how are you, lads? What a gorgeous evening and what a draw. Absolutely. Sean Hurley saying here, love the hate we're getting from the wrong end of Seven Sisters Road. Agent Yaya did his job. Totally agree with you, mate. 100%. Sean Hurley's also saying here, Sporting Lisbon, where Eric Dyer became a non-homegrown players. David Clark, hello from the Leicester side. Good evening, David. How are you? Kevin Murray saying, we got to finish top of the group. We've got to finish top of the group, Kevin. I 100% agree, but we said that with the Europa Conference League last season, and where did we finish on that one? But in all honesty, I think under Conte, we should top that group. It shouldn't be a problem. Should not be a problem. David Clark is saying here, when we sign Ziyech next week, we have the striking power to be able to rotate Son and Kulu and maybe rest Kane. Thoughts on that one, Sam?
There's no player you can guarantee, but I haven't seen enough form of Ziyech to convince me he's going to come to Spurs and all of a sudden rip it up. It's not like Kulusevski and Bentancur, where I think they kind of fell out a bit of a favour. Kulusevski always was, when I see him, he looked like he was performing well when he was in the team. Bentancur is a little bit different, but was he being played in the right position? I just don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
If it happens, I'll get behind it because it's a player that obviously Conte wants. If that's the case, and Conte comes out and says, "Yeah, Ziyech, man, that guy there, he's fabulous." But if he comes out and says, "Well, they just bought him," then I'm not so sure.
Dino Dinosaur saying Isaac was a forced buy with Wilson being injured again. I was hoping Isaac would link up with Kulu, better option than Richarlison for less money. It's £58 million, so it's there or thereabouts. I don't think it was a forced buy. They've been looking at Isaac for a while. In fact, they were going to do a bidding, and I think they were going to put a bid in this summer window. It's just unfortunate that Wilson's got injured as well. So it's just sort of hurried up the process. But they've always been looking at him. I still think £58 million for him is a hell of a lot of money, considering he's not scored that many and assisted that many goals. However, he's scored some absolute beauties for Sweden from what I remember in the Euros and in the World Cup. So this one's going to be an interesting buy, and let's see how he develops. And also, they pushed it this morning, early morning, so that they could get it done by 12 o'clock. So he's available to play at the weekend. So they're very, very clever how they've done it. Pushed it before, I think they've done it by 10:30 and registered him by 12 o'clock so he can play this weekend. David Clark is saying here, that masterclass, he never once showed an attacking midfielder.
Never saw it. David, tell me about it. I watched it. I never saw that midfield two become a free at any point. Any point.
David Clark is also saying, take it from me, Ziyech, he's a fantastic player. Just because Chelsea didn't use him properly, we would be insane not to buy this guy. I sort of agree in a sense. If we can get him on the cheap, and if he can do what he did at Ajax, then you know what, like Jules Nuts is saying here, I remember Ziyech played against Real Madrid when he was at Ajax. He bossed that game. Real had no answer.
Can I just say something? We've had more talented players than Ziyech come to our club in recent times. Tanguy Ndombele is one of them. Now, he was on big money there. That might be different. Ziyech is not on peanuts at Chelsea. So for him to leave Chelsea, he's coming to us on a decent salary. Unless he get to take a pay cut. I don't know the deals. But if I was at Chelsea and I'm on 200 grand, I don't think I'm going to say, I want to go to Spurs and have 100 grand. Doesn't make sense. So if he comes to Spurs, he's going to get paid 29. Who's he pushing, really? I don't know if he's... I didn't see it. I didn't see enough Ziyech to tell me, ooh, Kulusevski, you're in danger there, or Son, you know. And he's not going to be a central striker, so he's not endangering Harry Kane. Who's he pushing?
Well, this statement here, Ziyech is cultured with a great football brain, and he's a great finisher. I'm more worried that you guys can't see it. I've not said I can't see it.
I've got a great football brain. I can't play anymore. I used to.
He's a good player, mate. He's a good player. Chelsea won't sell to Spurs, lads. That's true. Sean Hurley saying Chalobah is a beast of a defender, good experience. This is it. A young player with a lot of experience on his head. He's played Champions League. He's done all sorts. So he would be a good.
That's a player. Now, that's a player I would try and go. But then Chelsea aren't going to sell him to us. Definitely not. They're not going to sell Ziyech either to us. It doesn't make any sense. I can't see why are these things coming up? Why are these things coming up?
Sean is saying here, think of the days of no sales might have ended between Spurs and Chelsea. That was an Abramovich thing after Levy rebuffed him. You never know, you know. Money talks. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. So after Tuchel Conte in the Battle of the Bridge 2, they're all of a sudden going to say, oh, yeah, let's try and make Spurs stronger by giving them Ziyech. Okay, let's think about Chalobah. That ain't going to happen, people. Chelsea aren't going to make us stronger by giving us a player that could potentially be better than he was there. That don't make sense to me, because I don't want to see any of our players, let's say it was a Kulusevski or a Son, or he's going to go, do you want to see that? Would you want to see? Let's say, let's even take it back. Let's look at a fringe player that's not on the cusp of making it, but he's got a lot of talent. Let's say, I don't know. Who can we choose? Who can we have?
I don't know, Regulon.
Scarlett.
Yeah, but Sam, these guys are not going to get any more game time at Chelsea. Ziyech, for me, for what they paid for him and the quality of him, they've underused him. For whatever reason, whatever issues, they've underused him. And like David said, I think Ziyech was a top player. Why he went there, I don't know. Maybe they don't want to play football anymore, ruin his career. But he is a top player. He's just not being utilized. There's players that are getting, Mason Mount, for example, right? He can play as crap as he wants. He never gets dropped.
I agree.
Whereas Ziyech comes in as a top game. Next game is dropped. So there's something in the air with them lot and certain players. And I think Ziyech just needs to cut that leash and go somewhere where he's going to be looked after, be treated as a player that he is.
Can I ask a question then?
Go on.
What's happened to Kai Havertz, Pulisic? What happened to Timo Werner? What happened to what's his name? Romelu Lukaku. All these players that went to Chelsea, do you know what I mean? With big reputations, ain't really done. But as I said, I didn't see him even do that much at Chelsea, because you don't necessarily have to play consistently well over a year and a half. I know these players have just come in and they were having to adapt. Kai Havertz, Ziyech, all the rest of it. But I don't remember, tell me if I'm wrong, Ziyech, Havertz, Pulisic, Timo Werner having barnstorming 4, 5, 6 games in a row of like, oh my God, yeah. And then go off the ball. It was like 1 game off the ball, 2 games maybe off the ball at the team. They're not consistent enough. I don't think we can get that out of them. Just don't think we can do it. I ain't seeing it. Sorry.
It'll you know what? It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. I'm sort of I wouldn't say no if he came. However, I agree with what you're saying. This Chelsea selling to Spurs to strengthen Spurs, it's not going to happen.
What's his desire to come to Spurs at the moment? What's his desire? Is he saying Spurs are a bigger club than Chelsea?
Who knows?
Who knows? That's arguable. At the moment, Chelsea are obviously doing better in terms of the trophies that they've won in the recent history. Is he coming to Spurs because Spurs are going to double his salary? I don't think that's going to happen. They might match it. So he's only coming to Spurs for what? He wants to stay in London. Maybe his people are happy here. He doesn't have to move house. He can come, you know what I mean, down the Seven Sisters Road, all the rest of that stuff. Oh, like here. It's nice down this Tottenham High Road. But he don't really want to motivate himself to play every week. I don't see it because he ain't done it at Chelsea and he's had plenty of opportunities. It's not like Chelsea have got loads and loads of wide players. They ain't got them. They had to bring Sterling in for bloody hell.
But one thing I hated though, and I'm going to move off that, last thing, every time he played us, the guy always had a fucking blinder, and that done my head.
I agree with you on that one. He played
every time. Yeah, every time. Right, so that's the Champions League draw out of the way. That's the Champions League dates out of the way. The latest transfer updates out of the way. Unfortunately, there's nothing more on the transfer front. 5 days to go. I seriously don't know if we are going to get anyone. We've just bought a 17-year-old from Sheffield United, the prodigy striker apparently for the future. Ex-Arsenal. Arsenal released him last year. And I think he's on there. 17 years old, plays for Sheffield United. He came from Arsenal, who sold him last year. Will Lancashire for £2 million, and apparently he's supposed to be a top young prospect. But we don't need young prospects at the moment when we've got Scarlett and Parrott. We need players that can come in right now, give Harry Kane competition, and if not, stay on the bench and give the team competition. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't think personally there's going to be any of the major signings. Personally, I don't know, unless Conte and Paratici have got something cooking and pull it out of the bag with 5 days to go, but I seriously don't know. I'd like to thank yourself, Stam, for coming on again this Friday evening. Thank you very much.
It's great.
I'd like to thank everyone in the comment section for putting in your comments, for joining us this Friday evening. I hope you all have a wonderful bank holiday weekend. I hope Spurs go to Nottingham Forest and get the 3 points that we need. And most importantly, if you're listening, if you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and
don't forget, tomorrow, preview show, 12 o'clock. That's going on. Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. And after that, 6:30-ish, the reaction show live.
With Deji. And
me,
if anyone knows anyone who has any spare tickets for Sunday, please give my man Sam Spurs for Life a tweet or anything and just let him know, because he is in the near regions and he would love to go to the away game at Nottingham. So please, if you know anyone.
Not in the home end, however.
But not
I've
in
done
the
that
home end.
previously, and I don't enjoy it.
Absolutely. In the Tottenham Hotspur end. Anyway, enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock for a preview show where we'll discuss everything about the game. It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me too.
Take care and have a lovely bank holiday weekend, guys.